So I am here once again with Adrian with Dave's Lock and Key. And if you haven't watched our previous videos, definitely go watch them. But while we were filming those, I started to notice something interesting. And I was like, Adrian, is there any way we can take a few moments and talk about it? And that is, he has a lot of kits, kind of like this Von Duprin maintenance kit here. And when I started looking at what you had going on, it was kind of like, listen, you know, we service a lot of Von Duprin. Yep. And we live in a, you know, we service a large area, and we got to make sure that when we're at the job, we can get it done. Am I right with that?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And so you, like, here's like an actual Von Duprin kit. I'll have you walk us through.
Yeah.
But you have a lot of these type of kits for this stuff that you see a lot in your area.
Correct.
And the purpose of this video is to not only talk and show you this Von Duprin kit here, but I want you to kind of think through what types of locks you see a lot of in your area, so you can kind of build your own, or even buy maybe a pre-done one.
Yeah.
So you can be prepared the way Adrian is.
Yeah, that's a great point, right? This is a pre-made kit from Von Duprin, from Allegiant, right? This is specific to the Von Duprin exit devices. Right, so primarily your 98s, 99s.
Yep.
There are some other with the 33s in there, but this is primarily a 98, 99 repair kit.
Okay.
Now, that being said, the other kits that I have, like we do a lot of Emtek. So we have made an Emtek kit.
Yeah.
Right. So we have screws and springs and washers and snap rings and all of that. Same thing with multi-point hardware. We've built kits for that. Or for when we're doing low voltage work, we have a low voltage kit.
Yeah.
It has the stuff in it.
Yeah, you know, and speaking of that, you know, when you bring up Emtek, you know, a very common thing that you always hear from locksmiths is the springs.
Yes.
Right? The springs are like, they're heavier locks.
Yep.
And so you actually have a kit that has those in it.
Correct.
That is awesome.
All kinds of stuff. The little, I know I've got one here. This is a good example of something that you should have in your Emtek kit that probably nobody knows about.
Okay.
The thumb turn on the inside of the trim piece for the deadbolt interconnect, or not interconnected, but it's a full trim.
Yep.
Right. This is the part where the tailpiece comes through, and there's an E-clip that goes on that connects to the actual thumb turn.
Yep.
This piece is pot metal. It breaks. E-clip comes off. Thumb turn comes all the way out, or it just spins. This part breaks right here. So we have kits of these because you'll come up to a job and the customer says, the thumb turn just came out. I don't know what happened. It just spins. We don't know what's going on. You take that inside trim piece off, and this part comes out in your hand.
Boom.
You go out to the kit, throw it back in there.
Do you see what I'm talking about? This is like Adrian's putting the Smith back in locksmith here with this stuff.
I love it. Yeah.
And it's really good, right? Because I mean, you've started to go through and like solve for some of the problems. You know, like it just, you know, these can be a pain. These things can happen. And instead of just trying to replace the lock or having a long delay to wait for something to get in, you just have a kit.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
experience. You know, I came across that because another locksmith had been to the property. Customer calls me and says, hey, another guy was here. He couldn't figure out what was wrong. He tried to put something together. He went down to the hardware store and came back, and it's broken again. And I pulled it off. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. We threw that into the kit. And
cool.
So now, and since then, I've come across a couple more. So
that's awesome.
Time saved.
And I'm guessing and we'll go through this here in just one moment, but I'm guessing that your advice would be for people to figure out what types of locks are in their area. If it's Emtek, build your own little kit based off of what you see.
Correct.
The need is.
Absolutely. Get the little parts and pieces. When you get old hardware, take it apart. Right? If it's something you would just chuck into the recycling bin in the past, take it apart. Take the little springs and the snap rings, anything off of it, save it in a kit because it might pull you out of a hole. Sometime. Locksmiths are bad for, I'd say it's a bad thing, right? We keep a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a balance, right?
Yeah.
There's a balance.
But yeah, if you can keep the stuff that you come across most often, money well spent, time well spent too. For sure.
Awesome. Well, hey, yeah, let's go ahead. I'll have you just kind of go through this a little bit so people can kind of, maybe if you've never built your own kit for a certain type of lock, just kind of, as you're going through this, maybe you don't work on a lot of Von Duprin 99s or, 98s or whatever, but take what you're seeing here and just like apply it to what you could need in your area.
Absolutely. It could be for any type of hardware. Then you can go and get, this is just a tackle box. So you can go to any sporting goods store and find, they have these large ones, they have small ones, they're stackable. The top here comes open. This one actually has a book that names all of the parts, has the parts diagram, tells you what you're looking for the different pieces, where it's located. In this kit, I don't have it in the same exact order, but power cords for the QELs, roller strikes. This is the window kit. So when you've got a vision light in the door and it's raised and you need to actually shim the hardware out from the door, this is specifically made for that, for the footprints. So again, having one of those in the kit is great. And then inside, I've taken these and I turned them over so that I can see the picture of what's inside of this kit. It stays on top, but these little tailpiece guides, real handy. They break all the time. The different screws and springs, these posts that everybody cross threads, and then when you go to take the screw out, this post comes off of the trim. You can take this off and put a new one in. Each one of these has different parts for various parts on the Von Duprin kit. Piece of hardware, the plastic clips for the push pads, the guides, the right screws. They're actually, the physical screws. And all of these you can buy if you're installing this hardware, those screw packs that are in the hardware, that's what a lot of this is. So you can replenish that. A lot of them come with multiple screw packs in them. The trim kits come with screw packs in them. Shims for the roller strikes. These are the posts for the hex dogging. So if this part strips out, you've got an older one, you can throw that in there. The guides for the 44, 29s. All of these different things are useful for when you're out in the field. And sometimes I dig into this kit, not because I'm working on a piece of Von Duprin hardware, but because I'm working on something on a door and I need a specific screw. Right, I need a 1024, and I know that it's in this kit. If it's not in the other kit that I keep, so these are, like PJ was saying, you can build one of these for just about anything, and have it in an easily findable location and do it.
All right, well, Adrian, thank you so much for kind of not only kind of walking us through this kit here, which is really awesome, but more importantly, like what you're talking about, I think can be so useful to so many people to kind of look at it a little differently. I mean, think about it, how many little parts and pieces that are in here that if you don't even, maybe you're not too familiar with them, you don't even know what they really look like, and you go and there's a problem, you're gonna be tempted to just take it off and put something different on.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And this really allows you to like get the job done right then and there, right? I always joke that doors don't want to be more holy than they already are, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's just really awesome. So thank you for sharing.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for asking the question, right? Being interested in what we do and why we do. I think it's helpful for other folks who may be looking for that, like, oh, I've always wondered how I could do that. You know, everybody has a different way of doing things. This is just one of the ways that, again, the factory, but they put it together, has that manual, has the parts in it, and again, you may come across something that you would have just replaced it and didn't realize that was actually a part that you could replace on it and put it back in service.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. Well, hey, you have to let us know. Have you made a kit similar to this for what type of lock or locking hardware that you use it on? Of course, I'm sure, Adrian, you'd love to know as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good
Always
stuff.
need more kits.
Yes. Yes. Be prepared for the job.
That's right. That's right.
Good stuff, everybody. Well, hey, thank you for watching. I look forward to reading the comments. And of course, we'll see you next time. Hey, congratulations, you've made it to the end of the video. You probably deserve a medal, maybe a plaque, but hey, I wanna make sure that when you're commenting that you're including the hashtag Lockboss. When you do, you automatically get entered in to win one of 5 free prizes we're giving away each week here live on YouTube on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. We'll see you in the comments.